is where you really have to pay attention, right? Because for the most part, right, nobody can do this well, right? I typically hypothesize, right, that if you're getting to 46 or above for the first time doing this, you are cheating, right? You're doing a posterior pelvic tilt, right, to push it down. You can't do that, right? Those are the things that you need to look for. And you may see it on contraction, right, where they tilt, right? Or you may see it when they release the contraction and they come back. And it might be slight, but anytime you're closing the lordosis, right, what are you doing? You're flattening out the back and you're pushing it down to the spine. That's not creating intra-abdominal pressure, right? That's creating lumbar extension of that area, right? Or lumbar flexion of that area, excuse me, right? So you have to be very specific with it, because otherwise you're just not going to get what you want out of it, right? But we like to live in the world of things are better than they are, right? And the same is true when we do manual muscle testing, right? Most of you are going to way overgrade a manual muscle test, right? And so that's one of the areas we'll continue to poke at over the course of the next, set of weeks, to get you into a much better place of understanding what you do, which is why typically you overdose and the exercises that you choose are way above what a patient can tolerate, right? So as we're to look at it, for example, all right, let's go prone, please. Okay. Now remember, with manual muscle testing, right, there's multiple ways to attack it, right? Sometimes the way you want to do the test is not going to give you the information that you need, right? So if I bend his heel up and say, bring your heel towards the ceiling. Okay, now hold it there. All right, what's the grade? 2+. Oh. Right? Is against gravity, right? But if I now look at it this way, and bring him into the full hip extension. Now hold it there. See that drop? No. He can't control it. 2+. Right?
I mean,
Be better, bro.
nothing new, dude.
So,
Just assume.
hypothesized.
Hypothesized.
I just looked at him and went 2+. And this is usually what I do. Usually, when this stuff is taught first term, I would just pick, the biggest, most buffed person in the room, and a 2+.
Knock his ego down.
Knock the ego down, right? So sometimes you got to do things a little bit differently to get the information that you need, right? And especially when you know, right, that typically, right, as you see the patterns, what muscles are going to be weak, like the transverse abdominis is going to be weak, right? The rectus is going to be strong. Why? Because if the rectus wasn't strong, right, we wouldn't be able to walk, right? So